Ladies, listen carefully. You were not born to live a life of mediocrity. You are not here to blend into the background or to settle for what everyone else accepts. If you're not an ordinary woman, then these truths must resonate deep within your spirit. To truly live as a woman who is not ordinary, the very first thing you must understand is that you are uniquely created with a purpose that no one else can fulfill. This is not just a feel-good statement or a cliche. It is a foundational truth that has the power to change the trajectory of your life. When you look around the world, you see millions of people, men and women, living different kinds of lives. Many follow the same patterns, repeat the same habits, and settle into what society tells them is normal or acceptable. But you are not called to follow the crowd or conform to what is common. You are made to stand apart. The moment you accept this reality, you begin to see yourself through a different lens, one that reveals your true value. Your uniqueness comes from a combination of many things: your personality, your talents, your experiences, and the vision you carry inside. No one else in history has lived your exact story or walked your path. This means there are certain contributions only you can make. You have qualities and strengths that, when fully developed, position you to impact the world in ways no one else can. The world desperately needs what only you can give. Understanding this uniqueness is essential because it sets the foundation for confidence and self-worth. When you truly know you are different and that difference matters, it becomes easier to resist the pressures to compare yourself with others or try to be someone you're not. You stop chasing after validation from people and begin to live out the purpose that has been written for you. Recognizing your unique identity also means understanding that your life has intentional design. You were not a mistake or an accident. Your existence is the result of deliberate planning, and your experiences, both joyful and painful, are shaping you for a specific mission. This mindset transforms how you view challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as meaningless setbacks, you begin to see them as part of your personal growth and preparation. Each difficulty becomes a stepping stone toward the woman you are meant to be. Another important aspect is to realize that your uniqueness gives you permission to pursue your own path. You do not have to follow what others expect or define as success. Your success might look different. Your journey might not be conventional, and that is okay. The key is that it is authentic to you. When you align your actions with who you truly are, your life will reflect passion and purpose rather than frustration and confusion. This recognition also encourages you to cultivate your gifts and talents. Don't underestimate the importance of investing time and effort in developing what makes you different. The gifts you have, whether they are leadership, creativity, empathy, or something else, are the tools through which you fulfill your purpose. By sharpening these tools, you increase your ability to serve, inspire, and lead. It is critical to internalize this truth daily. Make it part of your self-talk and your decisions. Whenever doubt creeps in or you feel pressured to be just like everyone else, remind yourself that your identity is unique and valuable. Write it down, say it aloud, meditate on it, whatever it takes to anchor this truth in your heart. When you truly embrace your unique identity, everything else falls into place. You gain clarity on what you want, why you want it, and how to pursue it with unwavering determination. You begin to attract people and opportunities that resonate with your authentic self. Doors that were once closed start to open, not because you force them, but because you are living in alignment with your purpose. So today, affirm this: you are not ordinary because you are uniquely created with a purpose only you can fulfill. Your life is intentional, your gifts are significant, and your story is unlike any other. When you live from this place of identity, you unlock the extraordinary within you, and the world will never be the same. Many people misunderstand what it means to be strong. Society often equates strength with being tough, unshakable, and emotionless. But the truth is far deeper and more powerful. True strength is born in vulnerability. For a woman who refuses to be ordinary, embracing vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is the very foundation of genuine power. Vulnerability means allowing yourself to be real, honest with your feelings, your fears, your doubts, and your dreams. It means acknowledging that you are human and that you have moments of uncertainty or pain. While many try to hide these moments, the extraordinary woman understands that facing them head-on is what builds resilience. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you create a space for healing and growth. You open your heart to learning from your experiences rather than pretending they don't affect you. This honesty with yourself is essential because it prevents the buildup of emotional burdens that can weigh you down and limit your potential. By facing your struggles, you gain clarity about what needs to change, what lessons you must learn, and how to move forward stronger than before. Vulnerability also fosters deeper connections with others. When you are willing to be authentic, people around you feel safe to do the same. This creates trust and meaningful relationships that provide support, encouragement, and wisdom. These connections are critical on your journey because no woman achieves greatness alone. Being vulnerable allows you to build a community of strength where each person lifts the other up. Another powerful aspect of vulnerability is its ability to fuel creativity and innovation. When you release the fear of judgment or failure, you open the door to new ideas and possibilities. The ordinary woman may avoid risks because she fears making mistakes, but the extraordinary woman knows that stepping into the unknown, even with vulnerability, leads to breakthroughs. This courage to be imperfect is a hallmark of greatness. It's important to recognize that embracing vulnerability is not about oversharing or seeking sympathy. It's about owning your story and using it as a source of empowerment. You become the author of your life's narrative instead of letting shame or fear dictate your path. This shift in mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to defeat. When you make vulnerability your strength, you also cultivate emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions and those of others. This intelligence is crucial in leadership, relationships, and decision-making. It enables you to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It empowers you to communicate clearly, resolve conflicts, and inspire others. Furthermore, vulnerability teaches humility. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers and that it's okay to ask for help. This humility opens doors to wisdom from others and shows true confidence because it takes courage to admit when you need support or guidance. The path to embracing vulnerability starts with small steps. It requires self-awareness and a willingness to be gentle with yourself. Begin by acknowledging your emotions without judgment. Practice sharing your feelings with trusted individuals. Reflect on moments when you felt strong despite your fears. These actions build your capacity to be open and honest. Remember, strength does not mean never falling. It means rising each time you fall. It means being willing to stand in the fire of discomfort because you know that on the other side lies growth and transformation. Vulnerability is the soil from which resilience grows. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: my strength is found in my vulnerability. I am brave enough to be real, honest, and open. I will allow my experiences, both good and bad, to shape me into a woman of lasting power. I will lead with my heart and courage, knowing that this is what makes me extraordinary. Time is one of the most valuable resources you possess, yet it is often overlooked or taken for granted. For a woman who is not ordinary, understanding the true worth of time is essential to living a life of purpose and impact. Time is not just minutes and hours taken away. It is the foundation upon which your dreams, goals, and legacy are built. How you use your time determines the quality and direction of your life. Every day you are given 24 hours, the same number as everyone else. What separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is how you choose to spend those hours. Ordinary women often fall into the trap of wasting time on distractions, procrastination, or activities that do not align with their purpose. But an extraordinary woman views time as sacred, a precious currency that must be invested wisely. Valuing your time means learning to prioritize. It means becoming intentional about what deserves your attention and energy. You cannot do everything, and trying to do so will only leave you overwhelmed and exhausted. Instead, you must identify what truly matters, what aligns with your values, goals, and long-term vision, and focus on those things. This discipline of prioritization allows you to accomplish more in less time and ensures that your efforts produce meaningful results. To protect your time, you must also learn to say no. Saying no is not about being rude or selfish. It is about honoring your commitments to yourself and your purpose. When you say yes to every request or distraction, you dilute your focus and drain your energy. Saying no creates boundaries that guard your time and help you maintain clarity and balance. It's a powerful skill that distinguishes women who achieve greatness from those who feel stuck or overwhelmed. Another important aspect of valuing time is recognizing the impact of habits. How you spend your mornings, your breaks, and your evenings can either propel you forward or hold you back. Developing positive habits, like planning your day, setting goals, and reflecting on progress, turns your time into a strategic asset. These habits help you stay organized, motivated, and aligned with your vision. Time management is also about embracing the concept of seasonality. Life has different seasons, each with unique demands and opportunities. An extraordinary woman understands when to invest heavily in certain areas like career, family, or personal growth, and when to rest and recharge. Honoring these seasons prevents burnout and ensures sustained progress over time. Valuing time means acknowledging that it is limited and non-renewable. Once a moment passes, you can never get it back. This truth should motivate you to live fully in the present while planning wisely for the future. It encourages mindfulness, being fully aware of how you spend each moment and making conscious choices rather than drifting aimlessly. When you start to see time as your greatest ally, you also become more grateful for each day. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Instead of feeling pressured or stressed about deadlines or lost opportunities, you focus on what you can achieve now and trust that the process will unfold in due season. Valuing your time is an act of self-respect. It says that you recognize your worth and refuse to let your life be controlled by busyness or distractions. It means you are committed to living a life of excellence and purpose, not just survival or routine. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: my time is precious. I will protect it, prioritize it, and invest it in what truly matters. I will say no to distractions and yes to my purpose. I will cultivate habits that honor my goals and respect the seasons of my life. By valuing my time, I am creating a legacy of impact and significance. Time is my most powerful tool, and I will use it wisely. Faith is often thought of in spiritual or religious terms, but at its core, faith is a powerful force that shapes your mindset and your ability to persevere. For a woman who is not ordinary, cultivating unwavering faith in yourself and your purpose is essential. This kind of faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is a deep-rooted confidence that what you are called to do is real, achievable, and worth every effort. Faith begins with belief. Before you can achieve anything meaningful, you must first believe in your own potential and in the purpose that drives you. This belief acts as a foundation, a steady anchor amid life's uncertainties and challenges. It empowers you to move forward even when the path is unclear or obstacles seem insurmountable. Without this faith, doubt creeps in and undermines your progress. Having unwavering faith means you trust the process, even when immediate results are not visible. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line. Sometimes the journey toward your goals involves setbacks, delays, and tests of endurance. Faith allows you to keep going, to stay committed even when success feels distant. It reminds you that each step, no matter how small, is part of a greater plan. Faith in yourself also means recognizing your strengths and acknowledging your worth. It requires you to reject the voices of negativity and comparison that try to convince you otherwise. Many women fall into the trap of underestimating their abilities or waiting for external validation before taking action. But true faith comes from within. It is an internal assurance that you are equipped and empowered to fulfill your unique role. This internal faith fuels courage. When you believe deeply in your purpose, fear loses its grip. You become willing to take risks, to step out of comfort zones, and to face uncertainty with confidence. Fear and faith cannot coexist in the same space. The stronger your faith, the less power fear holds over you. Faith is also closely tied to perseverance. It teaches you that giving up is not an option because your purpose is greater than temporary difficulties. When you face rejection, criticism, or failure, faith helps you see beyond the immediate pain to the bigger picture. It motivates you to rise, adjust, and continue moving forward with determination. Another critical element of unwavering faith is patience. It is easy to become discouraged when results don't come quickly or when progress feels slow. But faith understands that timing is part of the equation. Just as seeds must be nurtured and watered before they grow, your goals require time to develop. Patience does not mean passivity. It means active waiting, continuing to work, learn, and prepare while trusting that the right moment will come. Cultivating this kind of faith requires intentional practice. It starts with affirming your belief daily, reminding yourself of your purpose and the reasons why you are pursuing it. Surround yourself with positive influences that encourage your growth and reinforce your vision. Reflect regularly on past achievements and challenges overcome, as these serve as proof of your capability and resilience. Faith also grows through action. Taking consistent steps toward your goals, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in yourself. Every success, every lesson learned builds momentum that strengthens your confidence. When you act in faith, you align your heart and mind with the reality you want to create. Finally, having unwavering faith means holding on to hope even in the darkest times. It means knowing that your journey has meaning and that you are not alone. Whether you find strength in spiritual beliefs, personal convictions, or a sense of destiny, this hope carries you forward and lights your way. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: I have faith in myself and my purpose. I trust the process and believe that my dreams are achievable. I will persevere through challenges, act with courage, and remain patient as I grow. My faith is unshakable because it is rooted in the truth of who I am and the significance of my calling. With this faith, I will rise above ordinary and step into extraordinary. Emotional intelligence is one of the most critical traits that distinguish an extraordinary woman from an ordinary one. It is the ability to understand, manage, and effectively express your emotions, as well as to navigate the emotions of others with empathy and wisdom. Developing emotional intelligence and self-awareness is essential for growth, leadership, and deep fulfillment in life. At its core, emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness. This means having an honest understanding of your feelings, your triggers, your strengths, and your weaknesses. It requires you to pause and reflect on your emotional state rather than reacting impulsively or suppressing what you feel. When you are self-aware, you gain insight into why you respond a certain way to people or situations, and you become better equipped to make thoughtful choices. Being emotionally intelligent does not mean avoiding negative emotions. On the contrary, it means acknowledging all emotions, whether joy, sadness, anger, or fear, and using them as valuable information about your inner world and your external environment. Each emotion signals something important. For example, frustration might indicate that a boundary has been crossed, while excitement can reveal what you are passionate about. Understanding these signals allows you to respond wisely rather than being controlled by your feelings. An extraordinary woman uses emotional intelligence to build stronger relationships. When you can recognize and respect the emotions of others, you foster trust, compassion, and effective communication. This is especially important in leadership and collaboration because people are more willing to follow and support someone who understands and values their feelings. Emotional intelligence helps you navigate conflicts with grace, finding solutions that honor everyone involved rather than escalating tension. Self-awareness also empowers you to manage stress and maintain emotional balance. Life pressures can be overwhelming, and without awareness, it's easy to become reactive or emotionally drained. But when you tune into your emotions early, you can implement strategies to calm yourself, reframe challenges, or seek support before problems escalate. This ability to regulate your emotions is a form of strength that protects your well-being and enhances your decision-making. Developing emotional intelligence involves continuous learning and practice. It starts with mindfulness, the practice of being fully present and attentive to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Mindfulness helps you recognize emotional patterns and create space for intentional responses. Journaling, meditation, or simply taking quiet moments each day can deepen your self-awareness. Another key practice is empathy, the skill of putting yourself in another person's shoes. Empathy allows you to understand perspectives different from your own, which broadens your worldview and softens judgments. It enhances your ability to connect with people authentically, making your influence more meaningful and far-reaching. Emotional intelligence also requires humility. It means being open to feedback, acknowledging mistakes, and being willing to grow. No one is perfect, and an extraordinary woman embraces this truth. She uses self-reflection not to criticize herself, but to identify areas for improvement and to celebrate progress. When you develop emotional intelligence, you increase your resilience. You become less vulnerable to being overwhelmed by emotions and more capable of adapting to change. This resilience is vital because life is unpredictable, and your ability to remain composed and hopeful will determine how far you go. Moreover, self-awareness leads to clarity of purpose. When you understand your emotional responses and motivations, you can align your actions with your true values and goals. This alignment creates a powerful sense of authenticity and confidence, allowing you to live a life that is genuinely your own, not one shaped by external expectations or fear. So, if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: I am emotionally intelligent and self-aware. I understand my emotions and use them to guide my choices wisely. I build strong relationships through empathy and communicate with clarity and compassion. I manage stress with grace and remain open to growth. My emotional intelligence is a key to my extraordinary life, empowering me to lead, inspire, and thrive in every area One of the defining qualities of a woman who is not ordinary is her commitment to continuous learning and growth. Life is not static, and neither should be your development. Embracing a mindset of lifelong learning opens doors to new opportunities, deepens your understanding of yourself and the world, and sharpens the skills necessary to navigate life's complexities. This commitment is not just about acquiring knowledge, but about evolving into the fullest expression of who you are called to be. Continuous learning begins with humility, the recognition that no matter how much you know or how far you have come, there is always room to grow. This mindset rejects complacency and invites curiosity. It means you actively seek out new experiences, perspectives, and information, knowing that growth often comes from stepping outside your comfort zone. The extraordinary woman understands that growth is not always easy or comfortable, but it is essential for transformation. Learning can take many forms: formal education, reading books, attending seminars, listening to mentors, or simply observing life's lessons. Each experience is an opportunity to expand your knowledge and skills. The key is to remain open and teachable. When you become rigid or resistant to new ideas, you limit your potential. But when you remain a student of life, you equip yourself with the tools needed to adapt and excel in any situation. Growth is also about self-reflection. It requires regularly evaluating your progress, acknowledging your strengths, and confronting areas where you need improvement. This honest self-assessment is not meant to discourage, but to empower. It allows you to make intentional adjustments to your behavior, mindset, or goals. Without reflection, learning becomes shallow and ineffective. A commitment to growth also means embracing failure as a necessary part of the process. Many women hesitate to take risks because they fear making mistakes or falling short. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a critical step on the path to success. Each failure carries lessons that refine your approach, deepen your resilience, and enhance your wisdom. An extraordinary woman sees setbacks not as defeats, but as valuable feedback that fuels her progress. Another important aspect of continuous growth is surrounding yourself with a supportive community. Learning and growing in isolation is difficult. When you connect with mentors, peers, or role models who inspire and challenge you, your development accelerates. These relationships provide encouragement, constructive criticism, and diverse viewpoints that broaden your understanding and spark new ideas. Embracing growth also involves investing in your personal well-being. Mental, emotional, and physical health are foundational to learning and performance. Taking care of yourself ensures you have the energy, clarity, and focus needed to pursue your goals consistently. Growth is holistic, encompassing not just intellectual advancement, but the development of character, emotional strength, and spiritual depth. When you commit to continuous learning, you also model a powerful example for others. You demonstrate that age, status, or past achievements do not limit your capacity to evolve. This inspires those around you, family, friends, colleagues, to pursue their own growth and break free from limiting beliefs. The pursuit of knowledge and growth equips you to fulfill your unique purpose. It empowers you to innovate, solve problems, lead with wisdom, and contribute meaningfully to your community and beyond. The extraordinary woman recognizes that the journey of growth is lifelong, and that every step forward brings her closer to the life she envisions. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: I am a lifelong learner, committed to continuous growth. I embrace new knowledge, seek wisdom, and welcome challenges that stretch me. I reflect honestly on my progress and learn from every experience, including failure. I surround myself with those who inspire and support my growth. By investing in myself and remaining teachable, I am becoming the extraordinary woman I am meant to be. Resilience is the remarkable ability to bounce back from difficulties, challenges, or failures, and it is a defining trait of a woman who is not ordinary. Life inevitably presents obstacles, moments when things don't go as planned, when you feel defeated, or when circumstances seem beyond your control. But resilience transforms these moments into opportunities for growth, strength, and renewal. It allows you to rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. At its essence, resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about thriving despite it. It is the inner strength that refuses to be broken by adversity. When you cultivate resilience, setbacks no longer have the power to derail your progress or diminish your sense of purpose. Instead, you learn to view them as temporary challenges, understanding that they do not define your future or your worth. One key aspect of resilience is the mindset you choose to adopt. It begins with acceptance, acknowledging that life includes difficulties and that encountering failure or pain is a natural part of the human experience. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means facing reality honestly without denying or avoiding your emotions. When you accept setbacks as part of your journey, you reduce the emotional weight of disappointment and create space for constructive response. Resilient women cultivate hope even in the darkest times. Hope is not mere wishful thinking. It is a confident expectation that better days lie ahead and that you have the power to influence your future. This hope acts as a beacon, guiding you through tough times and inspiring perseverance. Without hope, challenges can feel overwhelming and paralyzing. With hope, they become manageable and motivating. Another critical component of resilience is learning from every experience. Setbacks are not failures if you extract lessons from them. Reflecting on what went wrong, what could be improved, and what strengths you discovered allows you to grow intellectually and emotionally. This growth builds a reservoir of wisdom that equips you to handle future challenges more effectively. Resilience also requires self-compassion. When you stumble or fall, it is easy to slip into harsh self-judgment or discouragement. But being resilient means treating yourself with kindness and understanding. You recognize that mistakes are part of growth and that your value is not diminished by temporary setbacks. This compassionate mindset restores your confidence and encourages you to try again with renewed energy. Support systems play a vital role in building resilience. Surrounding yourself with positive, encouraging people provides emotional strength and practical assistance during difficult times. Sharing your struggles with trusted friends, mentors, or family members lightens the burden and often offers new perspectives or solutions. No one rises alone. Resilience is strengthened through connection and community. Resilience also means maintaining flexibility and adaptability. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and the ability to adjust your approach without losing sight of your goals is crucial. This flexibility prevents frustration and helps you navigate unexpected detours with grace. Instead of being rigidly attached to one path, resilient women explore alternative routes and remain focused on their ultimate destination. Physical and mental self-care are foundational to resilience. When you take care of your body through rest, nutrition, and exercise, and nurture your mind with positive habits and relaxation, you build stamina to face challenges. Neglecting self-care weakens your ability to cope, but intentional care renews your strength and clarity. Most importantly, resilience is fueled by purpose. Knowing why you are pursuing your goals gives you the motivation to keep going when times get tough. Your purpose anchors you, reminding you of the bigger picture and the meaningful contribution you are destined to make. This sense of purpose transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward your vision. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: I am resilient. I rise stronger after every setback because I choose to learn, grow, and persevere. I embrace hope, practice self-compassion, and lean on my support system. I adapt with grace and care for my body and mind. My resilience empowers me to overcome challenges and continue my journey toward greatness. Setbacks are not the end. They are the foundation for my comeback. Living with purpose and intentionality is a hallmark of a woman who refuses to be ordinary. It means that every decision, every action, and every moment is guided by a clear understanding of why she is here and what she aims to achieve. Purpose is the compass that directs your life, while intentionality is the deliberate choice to align your daily habits and mindset with that purpose. Together, they create a life of meaning, fulfillment, and impact. Purpose is more than just a vague desire or a general hope for success. It is a deeply rooted sense of calling that gives your life direction and significance. Knowing your purpose clarifies what matters most, helping you prioritize what deserves your time and energy. Without purpose, life can feel like a series of random events or endless distractions. But with purpose, even challenges become meaningful, as they are part of the journey toward your unique destiny. Intentionality takes that purpose and translates it into action. It means living deliberately rather than drifting through life on autopilot. An intentional woman plans her days with awareness of how each choice affects her goals and values. She sets boundaries that protect her time and energy from being wasted on trivial matters. She seeks opportunities that align with her vision and says no to what does not serve her higher calling. Living intentionally requires self-discipline and focus. It is easy to be pulled in many directions by external demands, social pressures, or fleeting desires. But an extraordinary woman cultivates the ability to stay centered on what truly matters. She develops routines and habits that support her growth, knowing that small, consistent actions build momentum over time. This disciplined approach transforms dreams into realities. Purpose and intentionality also create resilience. When you know why you are pursuing something, setbacks are less discouraging. You see obstacles as temporary and necessary tests of your commitment. This clarity sustains your motivation, especially during difficult times when giving up might seem easier. Your purpose fuels your perseverance, while intentionality ensures that you keep moving forward despite distractions or doubts. Living with purpose also brings a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. When your actions align with your deepest values, you experience harmony between who you are and what you do. This alignment reduces inner conflict, enhances your confidence, and fosters a sense of satisfaction that external achievements alone cannot provide. It is the difference between merely existing and truly thriving. Another powerful effect of purposeful living is the ability to inspire and influence others. When you live intentionally, you become a role model for those around you. Your clarity, passion, and dedication encourage others to seek their own purpose and live authentically. This ripple effect creates a legacy beyond your individual life, impacting families, communities, and even generations to come. To live with purpose and intentionality, begin by reflecting deeply on your values, passions, and strengths. Ask yourself, what drives me? What difference do I want to make in the world? What legacy do I want to leave? Answering these questions provides a foundation for your purpose. Then, develop a clear vision and set meaningful goals that reflect that purpose. Next, cultivate habits that support your vision. This might include daily planning, journaling, meditation, or surrounding yourself with mentors and peers who encourage your growth. Regularly review your progress and adjust your course as needed to stay aligned with your purpose. Remember that living intentionally also means being present. It's about fully engaging with each moment, appreciating the journey, and finding joy in the process. Purpose is not just a destination. It is the way you live your life every day. So if you are not an ordinary woman, tell yourself this: I live with purpose and intentionality. I know my why, and I align my choices with my vision. I am disciplined, focused, and resilient in pursuing what matters most. My life is meaningful, fulfilling, and inspiring to others. Every day I take deliberate steps toward the extraordinary destiny I am meant to fulfill. Now that you've heard the truths every extraordinary woman must tell herself, you must understand this is more than a list of affirmations. This is a call to live intentionally, to rise above limitations, and to embrace the fullness of who you were created to be. You are not ordinary. And because of that, your mindset must be different. Your posture must be different. Your vision must be different. You were not born to simply exist or to fit in. You were designed to stand out, to lead, to transform, and to reflect something greater than yourself. You must remind yourself every day that your value is not dependent on anyone's validation. You are not waiting for permission to live fully or to walk in your purpose. You must protect your standards, guard your time, and choose your relationships with wisdom. Your strength does not lie in noise or popularity, but in quiet confidence, rooted in identity and vision. You are not afraid to be alone because you understand that destiny requires seasons of solitude. And when adversity strikes, you do not collapse. You rise, stronger and wiser, knowing that setbacks are merely setups for greater victories. Above all, you live with intention. Every step you take is purposeful. Every choice you make is deliberate. You are building a legacy. You are shaping a future. You are becoming the kind of woman this world desperately needs. Resilient, disciplined, compassionate, and bold. So speak to yourself with conviction. Declare these truths not once but daily. Let them become the framework of your thinking and the foundation of your living, because when you internalize these principles, you don't just survive, you lead. You don't just dream, you build. You don't just hope, you walk in faith and power. You are not an ordinary woman. You were set apart. You were called. You were chosen. Now, live like it